Hi and welcome, legends. Today, as per the thumbnail, 3 reversal harmonic patterns that I would like to take you through. Also, let's go through some exciting fundamental news, and as always, come trade with me. Down here into the description of the video, you will see 2 of my favorite exchanges that I use. Bybit from a larger portfolio perspective that I use to trade on, my swing trades, my spot trades, and Mexi for my daily scalps up and down with the lowest fees and a $20,000 bonus using one of my links for my community. Bybit, 20% reduction in your fees. Mexi with the lowest fees, no KYC required here on Mexi. Go sign up right now to benefit from these deals. Let's get into some exciting fundamental news first. First up, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink said an ETH ETF would still be possible even if the SEC or the SEC designates the cryptocurrency as a security. Right, so a little bit of bullish news in the direction of ETH at the moment, considering that the SEC is investigating ETH as being a potential security, but we all know how that cookie crumbles. Right, next up, another strong net inflow day for US Bitcoin ETFs, and as you can see, we've been tracking the inflow of ETFs being bought, and we had a couple of red days over here and we printed a nice little green candle, and now it seems that the money is starting to flow in again, and that's also reflected in the price of Bitcoin at the moment. Next up, since 2022, someone has been consistently buying 100 Bitcoin at any price. They now hold 53,000 Bitcoin worth 4 billion, making them the 13th largest Bitcoin holder. Another nation state buying? Well, we don't know who this mystery person or country or institution is, okay? All we know is that they are aggressively dollar cost averaging, buying 100 Bitcoin at a time, and potentially still seeing a lot of upside in Bitcoin in the coming months and years. Next up, Bitcoin. The price is holding up the previous all-time high support pretty nicely. We go up from here. Okay, and you can see they've connected the 2 pivots here from the previous bull cycle, 2021, saying that that could potentially be the rejection point for this bull cycle, where we hit the level round about the $100,000 mark, and then we could consider a deeper correction to the downside. But as you can see, we ranged, we broke through, we ranged, we broke through. And is this range over where we're going to see a breakout to the upside, or can we still expect a little bit of a deeper correction to the downside first before we see the breakout to the upside? Okay, next up, right here you can see they have this little expanding trumpet pattern going on here, where we've tested the lows beautifully, 1, 2, 3, 4 taps, and respected the highs every time, getting a rejection to the downside. And as per this pattern, 85,000K incoming. Right, we will also see how that aligns with Harmonics. I'm going to show you in a moment. Next up, Bitcoin appears to be breaking out of the bull flag on the 4-hour chart. If BTC holds above 70,000, we could see a surge of nearly 10% to all new time highs at around $77,000. Right, and I think, yeah, they've just basically measured the pole of the flag, and when you have a downsloping momentum to the downside, that's your measured move that could take you here to around about $77,000. Okay, altcoins have been massively lagging behind Bitcoin, and here you can see, comparing the altcoins, combined versus Bitcoin, where it is at the moment, Bitcoin is already past the all-time highs, where the alts still need to play catch up. But once the bull market really starts, altcoins will surpass the price of Bitcoin, especially if you start looking at the alt versus BTC charts, where they're showing strength over the price of Bitcoin. You could see a massive explosion from some of the altcoins that are still lagging behind, still waiting for this alt season to finally kick in. Right, let's dive into the harmonics that I'm currently keeping an eye on. And just purely from an education perspective, these are some of the harmonics that I'm currently keeping an eye on. You get the crab harmonic, the butterfly harmonic, a bat harmonic, Gartley, which is very famous inside of Bitcoin. The Gartley pattern plays out quite often, and also the bearish bat or the bullish pattern. You can see each pattern has a bullish and a bearish scenario, and it's also considered by a lot of traders as a reversal pattern. Okay, the 3 harmonics that I'm now keeping an eye on is the Gartley, which is a famous Bitcoin pattern, and it plays out quite often and frequently. You get the bullish one and the bearish one. For the purpose of this video, I'll obviously be taking you guys through the bearish Gartley over here. And then you get the bat, right? Also frequently plays out in Bitcoin, the bullish and the bearish one. And then the other one I'm keeping an eye on is the crab over here, right? So let's dive right into it. Just take this out the way. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, let's go. The first harmonic that I would like to take you guys through is the one that I've already shared during my previous updates, is to say that you have a fib from the top to the bottom, and you can see that your Gartley patterns is the 3rd tap here from the top, and you can see your A, B, C, D, E pattern. And then you can go and draw your lines to see which harmonic is potentially going to play out. Right, okay, so this Gartley harmonic that I have over here, you can see a a common rejection area for a Gartley harmonic is around the 0.786 level. And as you can see, we've been really struggling to break through this level. Okay, currently it looks like we are here at the moment, so potentially, you know, this Gartley can still play out where you will see a rejection to the downside, losing this trend for this momentum here to the upside. And a common profit taking area for any Gartley is when you take a fib from the C point, you know, we're looking at this leg, to the D point, or wherever the highest pivot is, that's going to form over here, and for now it's the D point over there. The 0.618 is considered a TP1. Okay, and then the C point a TP2 and the A point a TP3, right? But the most common profit taking area is around about the 0.618, where price comes down and it could either bounce back to the upside, or you get a lower high and continuation to the downside to come and take these two targets over here. Right, this is the first Gartley that I wanted to share with you guys, and for now it still looks like this Gartley could play out. Okay, we are struggling here, we are really struggling here by the 0.78 level, and if we do find weakness here where a lot of people consider this, so let me just take the Gartley here out the way and clean this up a little bit. Okay, this could also be an ending diagonal that I've got over here, a contracting ending diagonal where you have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, which is the fifth wave, and then you start tumbling down. If this is going to be the case where we don't even claim the liquidity above these highs, there's another harmonic that likes the 0.88 level, which also coincides with a larger A, B, C correction to the downside. And that is why it's called also a reversal pattern, when these bigger, larger time frame harmonics also plays out. Okay, so this harmonic is called, let me just switch it on over here, the bat. So the bat harmonic is basically the same levels where you draw your A point, your B point, around about the 50% or 618 fib level. It can even go as low as the 382 over here. So this point over here, basically from the 382 up until the 618, is all still valid for this harmonic. And then this from the C wave to the D wave, you can reject here by the 0.88. Okay, so now I'm trying to find confluence. When I switch on the VRVP, let's switch on the VRVP over here. And you can see that when looking at these volume nodes spiking out here, you can see that we do have a high volume node, not as high as this area at the moment, which we've struggled to break through, but we do have a volume node over there where we could still find strength here to the upside and reject at the 0.88 for continuation to the downside, where you take your fib once again from C point to D point, wherever that's going to end. And you can see here by the 618 is potentially the profit one taking area where we could expect a bounce. And also I will be keeping an eye on this 50% fib level over here. Just zooming out here, just want to show you guys this 50% level over here, just take the scribble out, has a massive, a high amount of volume. So I would even consider, if this harmonic had to play out, taking some profits here at the 50% fib level, considering how much volume is in this area, high volume node over here. So if we do get a rejection here to the upside, I would definitely consider this as perhaps a TP1 and not wait for the 618 to be hit. Maybe perhaps a TP2 over there where we could come down, make a lower high and then crack the level. But a nice high volume node in this area for a potential bounce to the upside, perhaps a retest for continuation to the downside, or we find strength to go up. Right, then the last harmonic that I'm keeping an eye on is still a little bit bullish to the upside, but a reversal pattern nonetheless, is which they call the bearish crab harmonic. Okay, so let's just switch this off, switch that one on, and what could happen over here is you can see that the D point has an extreme high target here, exactly by the 1.618 when you take your fib from the high to the low. And this 1.618 extension can act as massive resistance, where if we do find the strength to get up here, we can reject where you take your fib from C to the 618, and here around about the, what is that, the 236 level. If I just zoom out here, switch off the VRP so we can see what's going on here. Yes, okay, so let me take that out. So you will then see around about here, the 2368 level is where we could reject to, okay? and find strength back to the upside, or make a lower high for continuation to the downside. So for now, I'm not ruling out any of these harmonics at the moment. So purely from a harmonic perspective, these are the 3 harmonics that I'm currently keeping an eye on, keeping it simple over here. Now you know exactly what harmonic patterns is. Quickly into the lower time frames, taking all the harmonics here out the way. Let's clean up the chart. Okay, zooming into the price action, and let's go here onto the 15-minute time frame. So forgetting about the harmonics at the moment, just looking at price action over here on the 15-minute time frame, what I'm currently looking at is I want to see us hold this box as support. I don't want to see us lose this box. There's a high probability if we had to come back down and lose the support, and you're also breaking this trend, we could find ourselves at lower level where even that Gartlier harmonic, the first option that I've showed you, could still go and play out. Okay, so for bullish momentum to remain to the upside, if we do get a rejection in this area, I would like to see this support hold, okay, to confirm continuation to the upside. And then obviously we'll just have to observe price reaction as we get to each level where we have a high volume node over here. Let's see, perhaps we see weakness over here and price starts tumbling down. And then ultimately the higher target is for bullish momentum to remain to the upside. You want to see us take this high, like I've mentioned in many of my updates before, break it through with high volume, break this diagonal resistance as well with high volume, don't come back into this diagonal resistance, hold the highs as support for continuation to the upside. Right, thanks for watching. For those of you wanting to trade with me using my exclusive links for the biggest bonuses and lowest fees, go check out my Mexi tutorial over here where I teach you all the basics that you need to know to start trading on Mexi. Until the next one, cheers for now.